Again, Expert35, 35 different industries, experts from each industry, talking about the challenges, the hardship, and the opportunities. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We've got a great lineup. Today, we've got Expert01 back again, Sheri Davidson. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, thank you for having me.
No problem. And we got a great lineup for the rest of the week. We've got mortgages. We've got the mortgage professor. We've got how to start up a nonprofit. We're going to have a doctor talking about reopening. We've also have security. And then we're going to talk sports because I think there's got to be an outlet for all this. And I think that's why it's so timely that we've got Sheri Davidson, a licensed acupuncturist, a wellness expert. Tell us a little bit about, 12 years of expertise. And now this is probably the time that we need you the most. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I actually was an interior designer before. And then I decided to get into Eastern medicine. And so I got my master's of acupuncture and oriental medicine at Austin. And then I moved back home and started my practice 12 years ago.
Amazing. So 12 years and you went to school, you've gotten all kinds of experience seeing it firsthand, what all this is doing for us. To follow her, text Expert01 to the number on the screen and you can join the conversation. You can also text Expert35 to join our live feeds. But let's jump right back into it because obviously the economy has been hurting everybody. And when that hurts and when we're removed from our connection to our regular lives, right? Everything's turning upside down. So what's happening to us?
Yeah, well, I think that's a good question. And we are in the middle of an economic crisis and a health crisis. I think that our worlds have been turned upside down. We are basically moving our whole world into our homes. So not only are we stressed about the economic crisis and health crisis, but we are also taking on more roles such as, teachers, we're entertainers, we are working full-time jobs. Some people are feeling isolated. Some people need their personal space. Some people they're not moving as much, exercising as much. Their diet's off. So yeah, our world has been flipped upside down for sure.
And that's actually affecting, what part of the reason you're not able to do all the work that you're being able to do, right? Because people aren't traveling as much. People aren't able to see you. So there's been a push towards telemedicine, right? So that's been some of what you've been doing.
Yes, I have opened myself up for telemedicine. As of last week, I am a licensed healthcare practitioner, so I am able to start seeing people again. So I'm back in the clinic, but there are probably 4 weeks that I was not seeing anyone. So yes, it has affected me.
And actually, we've got some really interesting, fun questions. I think we're going to start off with the light stuff today. I've got Jennifer Johnson asking for a friend. Will acupuncture help lose COVID-19 weight?
Great question, Jennifer. Well, I would probably say that acupuncture can help with the stress of COVID-19, but I would probably do more lifestyle medicine and health coaching, and then maybe refer you to Shauna for nutrition.
Excellent. And now we got a question about CBD oils is safe alternative for stress and depression.
I have not done my research on the CBD oils. I have heard some feedback that they are wonderful. And I've heard some feedback that people are not having any effect from them. So I think it probably depends on quality, where you get it, and that I'm not sure about.
Great answer, right? Again, that it's important to we'll put notes in there as well. Jennifer's got another follow-up question. What are the biggest misconceptions about acupuncture?
That it hurts.
That a lot of people are asking.
I knew
painful.
I knew that was going to come up.
Okay, so does it?
Well, everybody's different. Everybody experiences sensations differently, but you will feel a pinch. You might feel a poke. You might feel a tingling sensation that travels. But most people don't have a problem with it.
Excellent. And then we got a question from Tammy. Does acupuncture help with migraines?
Absolutely. Again, Chinese medicine, the way we diagnose, 5 people can walk in with migraines and we might diagnose them all differently. So depending on what that diagnosis is, some are easier to treat than others, but I see migraines all the time and have pretty good results.
Great answers. And I actually didn't know that. So I'm glad I know now. Right. So let's talk about the pandemic, right? We're saying, is this pandemic a call to action, or how do you see it as being a call to action?
A pandemic, well, this pandemic is a call to action because I think that we take our health for granted until it's threatened. And I think that COVID-19 is showing us the value of our health. The most vulnerable are the elderly, which that is not a condition, that is a natural process. And then people with pre-existing conditions, so obesity, diabetes, high blood pressures, and most of that is lifestyle related. So I think it's an opportunity to find a new healthy norm.
Absolutely, right. And I think, you're pro, like, get open up again, right? But do it safely.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
What are some of the thoughts behind that? Like, hey, why should we open up again?
Well, I think, again, we're talking about a health crisis and we're talking about an economic crisis, and they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. And I think that everybody is struggling, and everybody is struggling in different ways. And I'd like to say that we should have compassion and love for everybody on that spectrum because the struggles are real. I feel that we have to get the economy back up and running. We have to protect the vulnerable, but let the people go out that can and start to get the economy running again, because the impact of unemployment on our health, compared to COVID-19, could be much, 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 much greater.
And let me see if I can find this graphic, but there's a graphic about the iceberg. There we go. We're pulling it up. I mean, it's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like unemployment, this whole, I mean, you clearly outlined it early. Like our life's different. We're running so many hats. We don't have the same outbreaks. That's what we're doing. We're going to have a doctor on the show. That's what we're going to have. The sports. I mean, just sports, the energy you release, whether you play them or watch it, right? Yes. All those de-stress us to some level, eating better, like all that. And I mean, everything's, you're seeing it more, right? You're seeing domestic violence, you're seeing abuse. I mean, you're seeing these things. So, can you speak to that a little bit more detail?
Yeah, I mean, I do know, I've heard that domestic violence has gone up, that child abuse has gone up. We all know everybody's drinking more at home. We see that on social media a lot, and what that could turn into if we were to stay quarantined for another 6 months or 5 to 6 months until they find a vaccination, how people are going to start running out of money. And I think that addiction is going to go up, violence is going to go up, and depression, anxiety, which could lead to more suicides. I mean, it's just a cascade of things that will happen if we don't get out there and kind of start our economy back up and get people working. And I also believe that working gives people purpose
right.
and value. And I think that is greatly important. So yeah, that's important.
And that's important, right? Like it's going to give us purpose again. It's going to relieve these tensions. I mean, unemployment is a huge piece of the puzzle. And I think that's part of, being healthy again, is having those routines. Our routine is so broken.
So broken. We've lost structure. And, that's why I think that, the virtual world is here to stay. But I think we're going to find a new healthy norm in it all. And I think it's a great opportunity to start looking at what that will look like for you and how you can improve your health. It's important. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And now let's talk about resources, right? Not everybody can afford going to acupuncture. We're getting questions like, how many sessions does it take? Right? What are some of the resources that you think would be important, especially right now?
If you're looking to get healthy, I really like healthypeople.org, or I'm sorry, .gov, and it's /2020. It's a great resource. It's it's dedicated to helping people live long, healthy lives. So I think that's a great free resource to go to start your health journey if you don't have the resources. I think online apps are great, or online classes and apps are really great. They keep you motivated, they keep you engaged and help hold you accountable. What else? There's nutrition apps, although again, I think that if you're going to use nutrition as medicine, you should go see a professional like Shauna. So yeah.
And shout out to Shauna, one of our experts. Absolutely. My favorite part of the show, 3 things, right? Yep. We're at home, things are opening up back on, but not fast enough, obviously. And like, we're still going this, stressful environment. Mm-hmm. And, what are 3 things we should do now?
I think movement is one of the most important things. I mean, I think health is a multifaceted thing, but if you said one thing, I would say move. It's so important to move. It puts you in a better mood. You feel more confident about yourself. It's just your body appreciates it, and I think that's just the number one thing. Number 2, I think that it's really worth the time to sit down and think about what your optimal health looks like. Like, what does that look like for you? So when we come out of this, you will have a path of where you want to go. And maybe that is managing pre-existing conditions. And then what does that look like for you? And if you were to accomplish that, how would you feel once you accomplished lowering that blood pressure or losing that 15 pounds that you want to lose? So I think it's an exercise that everybody should do. Number 3, I think stress management at this time it's so important. So reaching out to your communities. Zoom's really popular right now for online happy hours or virtual happy hours. I think that meditation, a shift in perspective is always really good. Optimism, try to stay optimistic, find a silver lining. What's going on is one coin and there are 2 sides. There are a lot of negatives going on and there are a lot of positives going on. So if you can find the positive, I think that's really good.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give you a chance to just kind of chime in. Another great resource, another thing to do is you're going to have a mindful meditation workshop, right? On the 15th.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's an intro class. I have the 5K or Couch to 5K approach, kind of modeled it after that. We do interval meditation. So we meditate for 7 minutes. We come out, we talk about experiences, answer any questions, and then we go back in for 7 more minutes, and we do that 4 times. It seems to work really well. Again, it's an intro course, so it is for beginners, and so please feel free to come if you have no experience.
Excellent. Yes, and thank you so much for all the timely information. And really, I mean, it's just so important, right, to find balance again in this just challenging times. I love that you've got both yes, we need to be safe, but we also need to get our health back. Our health is so much more important, and doing it mindfully and doing it in a balance. Sheri, thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I got one more. We got another little shout out. Here we go. Thank you. We got Shauna. Thank you for acknowledging the fear and compassion needed to be present. Yes. Right. There's a couple of, we're going to kind of turn you loose on the notes because I want you to put those resources in there, talk back to the group and really help them. There's a lot of questions about acupuncture. I couldn't even put them all. So again, this is our expert, Shauna Davidson, Expert01. She is, acupuncture and wellness expert. Thank you so much. So timely, especially as we're trying to open up again and really be concerned with our health and our wellness. And one more thing that we're saying is like stay safe, but also reach out to your family. Right? We're isolated, and a lot of people, this is what it feels like, when somebody is already isolated. And if you're feeling that pressure, go ahead and reach out to them and give them a phone call, send them a text message. It does volumes to reach out. So So again, Sheri, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being part of it. And we'll see you guys. We have a great lineup coming up. We've got mortgage guys. We've got how to open a nonprofit. We got a medical doctor, and we got sports. So Sheri, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. We'll leave you guys with one of Sheri's meditation, which is going to be on the 15th. So 5:15. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
We educate during difficult times. We collaborate at Expert35. This is for a better tomorrow and a better today. Let's come together and together we will find a way. You got questions, we got solutions. You got problems, we got resolutions. Visit Expert35.com. No need to worry, just remain calm. No more pain, no more sorrows. We provide solutions for a better tomorrow. No more pain, no more sorrows. We provide solutions for a better tomorrow.